Hello there, BoBo, the Bitcoiner is back. Today we are going to examine how Bitcoin technology revolutionized the financial system. For 12 years, the virtue of Bitcoin slowly begins to show the hallmark purity and efficiency. As the years progressed, we shall now see more of its true merit. Throughout history, we see financial abuses, right, repeated over and over. But what can the mainstream do? What can people do? Except to watch helplessly and hopelessly. Yeah? Banks and financial system, they portray themselves as we are the capitalists. And they say we need competition and innovation. Innovation is good. But when enterprises or entrepreneurs actually try to compete with the genuine new disintermediating way to manage payment, then suddenly the bank becomes more states socialist and say, no. We can only have one currency. It was all about monopoly, actually. It's a top-down control. In America, worst place to be now anyway. 1% of the elite control 40% of the whole country's wealth. Think about it. 1%, 40% of the country's wealth. On the other end of the spectrum, the bottom 40% of Americans, that's about 130 million Americans, own less than 1% of the total American wealth. See the discrepancies? Right now, about 200 million Americans, that's about 2/3 of the population, is living paycheck to paycheck. And yet we are still complaining in Singapore. Okay, for the past decade, the gap between the rich and the poor become bigger and bigger, especially in America. Look at the economic crisis in 2009 that most of us still remember, right? Financial elite turned a simple housing loan into a multi-layer derivatives by repackaging the mortgage and resell to the next bank multiple times, profiteering from each remortgaging. Yet, major credit rating agencies like Standard & Poor, Fitch, Moody kept rating this product AAA to keep the repack mortgaging ongoing. When the property market finally collapsed, the whole domino collapsed. Who suffer ultimately? Ordinary citizen. Millions of Americans lost their job. Their incomes and their livelihood. But not the marketing people who make the commission after each deal is done, not the bank in between who pass the ball around making a cut, and of course, ultimately, most of the big banks and insurance hold the paperless or valueless paper, has to face the music. But Wall Street remains solvent and operational. Too big to fail is how each of these big food banks and hedge funds sold themselves to Washington. And you know, the higher up, when push comes to shove, the authorities will dish out virtually automatic bailout on demand. And you know what? When the dust settles, none of the crooks and powerful bankers go to jail. Not a single one. This is traditionally the current banking system. You know, ordinary folks like us can even understand the poison dish cooked up by the corrupt higher up banks. And they still get off scotch-free. Why? Because if the law is applied, not only the bankers will go to jail, the politicians, the country lawmaker, the government themselves are just as guilty and corrupted. So how? Sweat under the carpet lah. This is the current financial system, my friend. We have to live through it. We here in Asia maybe too far from what actually happened in America, or on the ground in America. But we are probably not too wrong to say that America, that in America you can have high society. If you have high society contact, if you got the money, you could influence the politicians to your advantage. How can we explain that despite so many random killing by mad and crazy nuts in America, gun is still not outlawed? There's this thing called lobbying in America, the clean word for corruption. They get things done to their financial benefit. Another example is the recent GameStop case. The powerful hedge fund institution for years been short-selling weak companies for their profit. Mervyn Capital is making a profit of 30% year after year for the longest time. Naked short is supposed to be illegal. Yet these hedge funds are doing it for years. How can you short sell 140% of a company's available share in the market? You can't borrow share. There's only 100% of a share in the market, but they short sell 140%. For the first time through decentralization, a small investors are able to fight back, exposing their corrupted practice. Case is now under investigation. We are sure the elite will buy their way out. Right. The latest I heard is the leader of the small investor is being charged for disrupting the market. See how big fish eat small fish. Fortunately or unfortunately for the after 50 or 100 years, we learned to realize it wasn't that simple anymore in the financial system. Who controls the government controls the power to manage money, right? And who controls the money controls the bank. The distinction between the government and the bank becomes so pathetic that in the developed world, people who control the money tends to control the government. It comes to a stage today, it is so difficult to trust the government, not to say the bank. America free market means the elite enjoy the free privileges, making the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. 500,000 Americans don't even have a roof over their head. But what can the ordinary people do? Now, maybe different. Now come Bitcoin. It was designed as a fair monetary system to escape the power grip of the high and mighty elite. Bitcoin has shown the true value of what a banking system is supposed to be. Must be completely fair, a fair system. An element of finding your own space. The best way to interact with each other is without force, without top-down control. This new form of money system will reset the odds, reducing the capacity of the world's nation-state to determine who becomes the sovereign individual. A crucial part of this change will come about because of the effect of information technology in liberating the holders of wealth from exploration through inflation. As cryptocurrency has progressed, it becomes clearer that it offers a new pathway for a large group of people to come to agreement. In the crypto parlance, it means consensus. Where question about how to reach consensus, the blockchain looks set to be a game changer. In this context, the blockchain is presented as an algorithmic tools to foster trust in the absence of things like social capital, physical co-location, or trusted third-party management. Many hope that the importance of distributed consensus will extend beyond the maintaining the ledger. Cryptocurrencies is not just software. It's also a way to express conviction about the social world. Satoshi Nakamoto comes up with the monetary system called Bitcoin network. It was designed for the world to use free of charge. You have internet, you can participate anywhere in the world, and nobody, even the elite, can stop you. It allows you to transact honestly, fast and cheap, without having to go through a third party. Nobody to corrupt or manipulate. Truthfully and fairly, as long as you follow the network protocol. If anyone try to corrupt or cheat the system, they are simply thrown out of the system and banned from participations. You know what? Every move in the Bitcoin network system is transparent and free for the world to see and verify. All transactions are faithfully registered in the decentralized blockchain. and it's non-reversible, and the record will remain forever visible. We are very lucky such a system has been invented. Think about it. A system that the high and mighty elite has no chance to exercise their power or influence. They can participate, but have to play the same rule as everyone without flavor or favor or privilege. The rich is the same as the poor in this game. At last, ordinary folks in the whole world can trade fair and square without outside influence. With Bitcoin technology, a new decentralized finance, DeFi, is also born. It's a financial system that operates smart contract, where the rules are transparent and automatically applied to everyone, where every player, big or small, get treated the same. Indeed, it is a matter of time before a tsunami of money start pouring in. A key reason why, if you haven't done so already, the time to buy crypto in our long-term portfolio is now. Okay, guys? Think about it. Review this again. Don't forget to like it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.